because I couldn't teach First John 1:9 anymore like they were
But
teaching it.
I was exposed to that in college, right? First John 1:9 is like it's like your bar of soap, you have to use every day. And like,
Yep.
well, again, if you look at the verse in context, that's not what he was saying.
Not at
So,
all. Liars in First John 1:8, those who aren't in the truth in First John 1:10 are not believers who aren't confessing their sins. They're the unbelieving Christ rejectors of First John chapter 2.
yeah.
They're the ones who
And
are
and,
in
and, he,
need
and
of.
and he's been talking about the Gnostics, right? Who claim they don't have any sin at all. So
Yeah.
it's
I've written a book about this. It's called Forgiven and Cleansed, First John 1:9 in context. So what
mhm.
I do is I take a slightly different view that he's not referring to the Gnostics. He's actually referring to a very Pharisaical mindset, like Jesus was in constant communication with during his days, because the exact same language that Jesus used to confront the Pharisees is the exact same language that John is
Mm,
using to confront whoever he's confronting. And they're doing same thing the Pharisees did, which they were antichrist. They were denying that Jesus was Messiah.
mm.
And but either way, it's not referring to believers, First John 1
Right, right.
9. It's that group of false teachers, whoever they were.
Yeah, he says if we say we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, right? So
Yep. So a lot of people will say, well, the we and the our, he must be talking about himself. Well, that's just not understanding this
this is
editorial use of we and
the
our.
fact that our language has pronouns in it, like we and our and us and them, is like this is what causes so much confusion and interpretation because it's never specific. It's always based on context. What the word we or you or they, who does that refer to?
Yep.
Because we use pronouns, we're not specific, and so we always have to go to context to understand what those mean, right?
Absolutely. And there we there's an editorial we use those words all the time. People in the news constantly use editorial we's and ours, where
Hmm.
for when we go out and eat, my wife and I, the waiter or the waitress will come over and say, "What are we having for dinner tonight?" Well, she's not
Right.
having anything. He's not
No, no.
having anything.
All right.
It's an editorial we. Are we going to have dessert? Well, editorial we. One of the great editorial hours, OURS, in the Lord's
Hmm.
Prayer, where Jesus said, "Forgive us our sins as
Right.
we forgive." That, well, of course, Jesus had no sin, but he uses us and we and our, but he's not talking about himself. It's
Himself.
just an
Right, right,
editorial
right.
use. And that's exactly what John is doing in First John 1:9.
As far as I'm aware of all languages have pronouns because otherwise it would take a long time to say anything, right? So
Yeah.
it's always context based, and so it's so important to know the context of verses when you're reading.
Yes, it
Who's
is.
this we about?
Yes.
Who is the
Well,
we?
Ward, man, thank you for joining me in this
Well, thank
conversation.
you.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's been great.